Services. I'm a regulated Canadian immigration consultant. Today, we are going to talk about the immigration plan, which was tabled in the parliament this week. So, we are going to talk in terms of what are the key priorities on which the government is looking in terms of immigration for going forward. And we are also going to talk about how they are faring against plan for 2022. So the for 2022, the target is 431,000, and they're well on track in terms of meeting that requirement. Now, going in terms of for the next year, what 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 immigration has done is they are kind of looking in terms of increasing that level to 465,000. So as against 431, they are going in terms of additional invitations over there. And by 2025, they are looking in terms of going up to 500,000. So that's in terms of the numbers, basically. So we see a good increase in terms of the number of applications. So what are the key things, basically, you could see from this immigration plan? So the first of all, if you see the expressive, the federal scale category, the numbers are 880 for 2023, and it will go up to 114,000 by 2025. So you see that express entry is coming into full force, so they are fully going back. This for the next year, there you would see some numbers coming from public policies, 25,000. That is mainly the backlog which they have from TR to PR. So that is going to be processed. So around 25,000 applications are going to be processed in 2023, and rest of the applications are going to be new invitations, basically. So you would expect that invitations are going to be there going forward. So we won't expect like what happened in the last 2 years, where there were no draws from the federal skilled worker and as well as the Canadian experience class. So we don't expect that to happen going forward. Other key aspects which is going to happen is you would see that express entry is about change, and that change, there are two changes which are happening. So the first change, which is going to happen in the November 15th, where IRCC is going to adopt new NOC system, and the NOC system is going to be 2021 as against 2016, which they were using before. So when you're looking in terms of your eligibility, you have to make sure you look in terms of your NOC in the 2021, whether your job duties match to the new NOC requirement. And one good news, almost 9 new occupations are being included as a part of Express Entry going forward. Trucking is one of them. So I know many candidates in Canada, like earlier, if they were studying, they were working in the trucking industry, they had only option in terms of going for PNP. Now they will have an option in terms of also applying through the federal program. That's through Express Entry. What are the major updates? Basically, if you see the numbers on the federal business, that has really gone up. Like Canada is seriously looking in terms of increasing the number of invitations for for the business. So they want people to come and invest in Canada. So that is a very good news. The other thing also which is happening is there has been a lot of focus in terms of economic pilots as well as the provincial nominee program. So one of the things the IRCC has realized is that if they really want to have a big benefit coming out of this particular program, they really want to see that the people diversify, the people go into different regions. That's why the emphasis is on regional pilots as well as in terms of your provincial nominee program. So if you are looking in terms of immigrating to Canada, that is the one area basically you should be looking at. One other area which has not been included as a part of this update is express entry update. I think that's important to discuss that particular aspect. So by somewhere around April of 2023, IRCC is expected to change how the express entry comprehensive ranking system works. So there could be a realignment in terms of the points which are allocated to Canadian education. There is also speculation in terms of giving extra points for the Canadian work experience, which is in line with that response the minister submitted in TR to PR pathways motion 144. Other thing which is also going to happen is there will be sector specific draws which are going to be there. And with that, what is going to happen is like certain sectors, like for example, healthcare, STEM sectors, basically, these sectors will have advantage in terms of getting invitation to apply. So if your score is low, even the overall score in the pool is high, but if it is going to be sector specific, you will be able to come to Canada, or get an invitation to apply even with a lower score. So that is something which is going to happen. If we talk in terms of other categories, like from a family class perspective, we don't see major shifts in terms of the family class for the next year. So we have around 78,000, 82,000 on the spouse, partner, and children. So this is based upon the number of applications they have been receiving, and moreover, there is no cap in terms of this category. So it is not going to make a difference in terms of if you there are going to be more applications under this category, since there is no cap allowed on this one. So you will be able to submit those applications at any point in time. Interesting thing you're going to see is on parents and grandparents. So next year they are talking about 28,500. Please keep in mind that these numbers are the number of people they want to give the PR to. So IRCC already have a backlog in terms of this program, this particular application, and it's taking up to 2 years in terms of processing of PR applications for parents and grandparents. So the number you see is not true reflection in terms of the number of invitations. So for example, the parents, grandparents invitation to apply, which was issued this year, they sent invitation to around 21,000 applicants. So, and they are expecting 15,000 of them to get a PR out of that, basically. So the next year numbers are not a true reflection in terms of the parent grandparents. But if you see 24 and 25, there has been increase in terms of that number. It has gone from 34 to 36. So there is going to be a considerable increase in terms of those numbers. But you would see that this increase is not uh, commensurate to the number of demand, basically, right? So if you see the number of people like who would like to bring their parents or grandparents to Canada is far exceeding than the number of applications which immigration is expected to grant. So on that side, basically, there people still have to rely on other programs like Vista Visa and Super Visa program. If you talk in terms of refugee programs, in the terms of refugee programs, number is fairly consistent, so there's no major change in terms of that. And on HNC consideration, you would see that like the number for the 2022, 3 and 24, they are on a higher side, but that is mainly because like they also include some of the applicants through the Afghan scheme. So that is the reason like you don't see major shifts in terms of that. So overall, it is a good plan. And I think like important thing from IRCC perspective or the applicant's perspective, IRCC perspective is to address that the backlog aspect. They need to make sure that whatever the backlogs they have been receiving, like that needs to be, they need to address that, even though they have been talking about like reducing the backlog to 20% by end of 2022, but it seems that they will not be able to achieve that. And other aspect which applicants need to see is like, especially like the people like who are relying on express entry, the scores initially is going to be high, and with the change in terms of how the comprehensive ranking system is going to be structured towards the first quarter of 2023, you need to start looking in terms of how you're going to maximize your score, and how you could look in terms of the regional options, regional pilot programs, or maybe looking in terms of the provincial prominent programs, basically, because where there has been a significant increase in terms of the number of quotas. So we will be discussing more about the changes into the NOC system next week, like which is going to be implemented on November 5th, November 15th. And then we'll also have a follow-up session regarding like new comprehensive ranking system once we hear more from IRCC in respect to express entry changes. If you have any questions regarding the immigration plan, or you have any query related to your own immigration status and you want to immigrate to Canada and looking for options, feel free to reach out to us. You can reach out to us on 416-271-4371, 416-271-4371, 4371, or you can also send a message on our social media channel. Thank you for watching. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.